Have you seen a girl for Namjoon? Or he's interested in someone? Una's mom asked out. For nowhere. Jin went silent to listening Namjoon's name. I don't have anyone in my sight right. And I'm sure if Namjoon had someone, he must have told me. She glared at Namjoon's direction and smiled. If to include him. Do you remember me speak? Aunt said, and Mom nodded. Their daughter Nami just graduated. The family is very respectable. I know their personally. If I just suggest that, you can consider them too. Namjoon looked at Jin. He was already looking at him. Their eyes met, and Jin quickly rolled his eyes. Thank you for the suggestion. Mom smiled. It's mean we can expect Dan and Namjoon Sayang wedding together. Job said excitedly. Maybe. Oh, Jin Ayong, we will rock on the dance floor. Yeah, why not? Jin nodded and gave up. Where are you going now? Jimin questioned. I'm going to take some rest. Jin replied. What about dinner? They asked. I am not hungry, Jin said. But Hayong, what about the sky? Joe, my feet are hurting. I'm sorry. Jin started and left the place. You were right, Jimin. We should do something for them. They said worriedly to Jimin. If he is not eating, it means someone seriously is going on. We will do. Jimin assured him. Let's go outside. Mr. Kim said everyone got up for their places and started going to outside to the lawn. Jungkook took Aien for tea and they went outside too. Aien, look what we are going to do. They placed her in his hand. Jungkook, the blown by air, so they none of them the material the hand. They light up that and with the help of lighter. Aien, you like it? They asked, and Ain's reaction clearly showed that she was loving it. No, baby, it's hot. Jungkook moved his hand away. They looked at him and smiled. We were already gazing down at him. His face were by the dim warm light coming for there. In their hand, he smiled back. After 2 minutes, they become. You can feel that gentle upward third. Jungle let go of that in the air. It floated up into the night sky, giving off a beautiful warm glow. Oh, that shooting star! Then called out, pointing toward the sky. They glared at the sky and back to Jungkook. The stars were falling, so were they for each other that too, deeply and unknowledgely. Aien was busy throwing out the stuff for the suitcase his mama had packed minutes ago. How will it work, Aien? They pouted. If you won't let me pack the things, how will we go back to home? Aien glared at his mama and then back to the bag, start playing with the things. They sat on the floor beside her. You don't want to go back, isn't it? We will tell Appa to ask your daddy to bring us here again. They started. You can directly ask him, our daddy to bring you here, Jungkook said and picked up Aien in his hand. Jungkook quickly paced her back when she was sitting earlier. I'm not touching you. Okay, baby? Don't worry, I'll pack it later. They held his hand and looked up. He's signing him to sit beside him. He nodded and settled down. An idea popped up in his mind. Sitting beside him, they held his hand and placed his head on his shoulder. Look, Aien, your daddy is mine, they said. He snapped his head toward they. Aien paused. Jungkook is mine, right? They looked up at him. He was in a daze. Play along. I just want to see that. What she wanted to do. They murmured. He nodded, wrapped his hand around Tae, and said, obviously, Aien throw the things. And, Aien, you cannot change the fact that he is mine. They teased her. No, Aien called out. She tried to remove Jungkook's arm from their hold. No, Aien again said. Oh my god, our baby is so possessive, they said in a baby tone and lightly pressed Ain's nose with an index finger. They straight up and left Jungkook's arm. Now, it's your turn, they said to Jungkook. He looked up there quietly. You will repeat what I have done. I mean, we should see her reaction. Jungkook nodded. He repeated Taeyoung's action, and the moment he said, "There is mine," Aiden stood up for his lap and sat down Taeyoung's lap. They smiled. Aiden grumbled and shook her head, indicating him to stay away. Obviously true. I'm only Ain's. They started and hugged him tightly. What? Jungkook's eyes not open. He was supposed to act there. Such a cheat. Come back again. He forwarded his hand, but they laughed. Ain shook her head and was neither letting him touch her or tea, whatever he would try. Ain would start shaking. It's okay, we were just playing, they said softly to Ain, but she was not listening. They looked at Jungkook. An expression clearly showed that his despair. You both made a good fool out of me, he groaned. I think Una's mother is right. We should start looking for a girl. Jin mom said, Namjoon has financially settled down already. We should not waste our time. It would be the best for us to see our kids happy with their soulmates and live a married life. Aun said to his mom, we both should visit the girl's family too. She had suggested us. It would be the first thing I wanted to do after going back, hopefully, until the Chia family would give us a positive answer so we can celebrate. Jin, why are you standing at the door? Come, son, Mom said as her eyes fell on Jin. Jin forced a smile on his face and then quickly ran away, for there he had heard their whole conversation. Jin, Aunt called him. I don't know when this boy will listen to me. Aunt shook her head. Jin climbed up to the stair. Hesitantly, their vision was blurred. Dan and Namjoon were standing in the corridor, discussing something. Jin, Dan grabbed his hand. What happened? He asked worriedly. Jin turned around. Leave my hand. It's hurting. He started crying. Namjoon stepped forward and informed. What has happened? He knows Jin doesn't cry, unless it was very serious. Dan quickly left his hand. You don't have to talk to me, Namjoon. He looked at him with tear-filled eyes and stood toward the room. Was he crying? Because I hurt his hand? It's unbelievable. Dan shook his head. He never cries. Namjoon murmured. I'll talk to him later. Let's give him some space for me. Dan said, and they continued their talk. Whereas Namjoon's eyes keep going back to the closed door of his room. What has happened to that he was crying so much, he thought. Jin sat down on his bed. His mind was on his own thought. He can get married to whoever and whenever he wants. Why should I care? He's no one to me. Jin sniffed.